Good evening. It's John after a brief hiatus here. I think I last played Immaculate Grid on Saturday, and I saw some people in comments on other videos being like, "Where you at? Where did you go away? You're not doing this anymore?" Baseball Reference introduced some hard categories, and now you're done. And the answer is no to all of that. Reason I disappeared for the last few days is actually I became a father. My son was born. My wife was an absolute champ the whole thing. That was on early Monday morning, so she went into labor on Sunday, and so um, I'm thrilled. We actually named him after my dad, who it was the reason I'm all into this and into baseball, and so I'm on a little bit of paternity leave from work here, so I'll, in between changing diapers and baby crying, and I'm sure all of you've been, a lot of you've been through that, I'm sure. But anyway, it is a phenomenal feeling, and I just love the little guy. So, um, anyway, as far as Immaculate Grid goes, I'll try to get caught up here. I'll try to pick up where I left off and just try to make up ground here. I should be able to do a couple videos a day and just get caught up though. I think I can space those out in between the various newborn things. So I'm gonna start sharing, and so I guess what I'll do here, I'll just go to my failed grid from whenever that was, and I guess I'm now up to I guess I have to just refresh. I'll go to two. I'm already seeing teams. I'm just gonna play the grid for today, and then I'll try to play 203 today. So what we've got is the Texas, because otherwise I'm just gonna dwell on these teams. I can see them: Rangers, Phillies. So two of the teams that almost could have been in the World Series. Congrats to the Diamondbacks, by the way, as well as the Rangers. And they get the Red Sox and get the Orioles. And we got 30 homer season, and which is a newer category. I think we played that a couple days ago, and 300 home runs batting. And we just need anyone who hits any of these categories and played for any of those teams. As one does when playing this game. Rangers and Orioles got one from my book. Let's see how this one does. This was from iconic seasons that were 1 year off. There are multiple L's. Yeah. Kevin Millwood. He goes sub 1%. He had a pretty good, after a few disappointing years, the beginning of a pretty big contract with the Rangers. Millwood had a really good 2009 season. And I mentioned, like, hey, doesn't he was good in 2009? Was he on the pennant winning teams of 2010, 2011? And the answer is no. He went to the Orioles in 2010. I think he was traded and had an absolutely miserable year and retired shortly thereafter. Um, anyway, so that explains Kevin Millwood's story. Let's see here. Actually tweeted from the when the I think it was once the Rangers clinched. I said, no matter what, Vicente Padilla will represent the World Series teams. This is when the Diamondbacks and Phillies were vying for it, which means he will work here for Rangers and Phillies. He's actually my go-to for, like, if I have the Diamondbacks and he works for the Red Sox, so there's like Shea Hillenbrand and Yum Yum Kim and a couple other people. But he works for that group, and then he also works for Diamondbacks Phillies because he was in the Schilling trade, and he also one of the Rangers. And there's not a lot of whole like with the Diamondbacks, there's not a lot of times there's not a lot of options. So or there's fewer obvious options. Padilla was a decent pitcher for a while, so he's a good one to go with. He goes sub 1%. And then he also would have worked here, but let's see here. Rangers and Red Sox. Of course, Otis Nixon works. I believe Fergie Jenkins was briefly with the Red Sox. I think. I'm gonna go with Otis Nixon. He's obviously not gonna be I don't think he had 30 homers in his career, so let's knock him out here. Goes sub 1. For a while there, he had like the modern, like post 1920 record for the Red Sox for stolen bases in a season. I think that was long since surpassed, but he played like one season in Boston and stole 40 bases, and that was the most they'd ever seen since like Tris Speaker. something like that. All right, 30 and 300. Some interesting categories here. Um, see, I got a pretty good one here. How do we feel about Mike Lieberthal? I believe he had like 31 home runs in 1999. He goes sub one. And then 300 career home runs, you figure does not have to be with the team, right? At least one game. Okay, so we're just looking for someone who maybe passed through these towns on the way over. I will say that one guy who will work is Jimmy Fox for both of these teams. Of course, he works for like 500 plus. Um, so I want to say Lee May will work the Orioles. Um, St. Louis Browns didn't have a ton of big uh 300 home run hitters. Um, and for 30, how about for this one we'll go Ken Williams, the first ever 30-30 player. Get the right one though. It's point 0.4. And for the Red Sox, how do we feel about Vern Stevens? It's a nice baseball name. 39 home runs and let's see, I wrote about this season in my book. It would have been the 1949 season. He had 39 home runs and 100 I want to say 59 RBI, which was a dead tie with his teammate Ted Williams. And of course, Vern Stevens got to hit after Ted Williams, so he got Ted Williams on base all the time, which is a nice benefit to have. So he goes point 0.3. I think that's a Browns logo, so he might have also worked. Well, no, probably not. All right, 300 plus career home runs. Let's see. I want to get some. So like I'm trying to think of guys who had. I am gonna go with Fox here. I think that's a. It's not that well known that he played for Philadelphia. I mean, the Philadelphia Phillies. He definitely played for the Philadelphia A's. Everyone knows that. Oh, he gets a full percentage point. All right. Let's see. Boston. I think guys who might have just been passing through. How about Jose Canseco? He was just passing through. He'll work. He had over 400. Andre Dawson will also work. Jim Rice would work, but Jim Rice plays whole career. That's why you want to go with someone like an Andre Dawson. He goes 0.6. And then, yeah, I'm not sure. I want to say Lee May does work like 350 or something, but I'm not, man, I'm not 100% on that. Um, Vladimir Guerrero Sr. would work. He was briefly an Oriole. Um, yeah, let's see. Not sure about Boog Powell. Brooks Robinson comes a little bit short. Not sure on Tejada. Tommy works. Palmero, of course, works. Eddie Murray works, but those will be too obvious. Ripken works, again, too obvious. Um, Derek Lee briefly played with Baltimore. I think he got there. I think Derek Lee gets to 300 home runs. Let's give him a shot. Yep, that's right. He spelled his name a little differently. Nice. So get a 5 out of that. No huge surprises there. Palmero leading the way on Texas and Baltimore, but he also works for these. Um, cool. So pretty good game, right? Five, first game back. Got a chance to rust my brain a little bit, I guess, but not bad. So I'll get this uploaded. I might play one more. I need to check on my new commanding officer back there, but thanks so much. I appreciate that a lot of people are just like, hey, I make this part of my night. Where's your videos at? So if I'm a little delayed, I think you know why. But really, really appreciate the opportunity to be a father and the chance to spread this wonderful game down another generation. Big reason I gave him my dad's and my wife obviously was very supportive, but giving him my dad's name. And yeah, I'll try to get caught up and keep on making the videos. And thanks very much for tuning in. You all have a great rest of your day. Peace.